as I told these guys in the locker room, an opportunity to finish as a champion. There's no greater feeling than that. And I'm so proud of the way they continue to battle today, which is a great representation of what they've done all season long. And I know I said this before, but we're on that bumpy road, and they continue to trust their coaches, to trust the leaders, and this is a great way to finish off this 2022 season. And I told them they'll be the example we use for a long time, because this is what real life's about, and the ability to respond to some of those situations that happen to you. But I'm extremely proud of this team, the leaders, the seniors, and to send that group off the right way is very pleasing. So with that, we'll open up for questions.
Coach, Bruce Hope, Florida Star newspaper. Being that this is such a hotbed of recruiting in this area, it's not specifically about the game, how do you think this game affected your recruiting efforts going forward with a bunch of kids that grow up looking at and wanting to play in the SEC?
Yeah, for us, listen, the best recruiting we can do is to go out there and play well and win. And we'll find the right guys no matter where they're at, because this university attracts the right people. And that can be in Florida, that can be East Coast, West Coast, it can be that kid from Germany. And so it really, we recruit obviously nationally, but for these guys to go out there and play the game the right way, and to be a really good South Carolina team, that's the best recruiting you can do.
And one more, specifically regarding the game, that pick six, what was the reason behind the call there? It looked like you had kind of broken South Carolina's will on the ground at that point. You call the pass, it goes the other way, 100 yards, get a bowl record.
Yeah, we were looking for a specific look, and we thought we had it. Didn't have the exact look we were looking for, and the guy made a great play. Obviously, at that moment we were running the ball really well, and again, ultimately we obviously shouldn't do it, shouldn't have called it. But the greatest thing about it was to be able to, again, use that situation as another example in the future, and the ability for that offense to have that happen, look at them on the sideline, say in about 5 minutes or 2 minutes, you're going to go right back out there. And for them to march down the field and score, that's what it's all about.
Marcus, can you just talk about how satisfying it has to be to win a game coming from behind, almost kind of in opposite fashion of the way you guys weren't able to put away the bowl game a year ago? I got to imagine it's gratifying.
Yeah, I remember saying this before after the Clemson game. It's never how you foresee it on the front end, right? In all the days you can sit here before this game and daydream about how you think this game will go, it wasn't like that, but the ending was, right? And that's what we'll remember. But again, to send these guys off the right way, no matter how we could achieve it, that's what matters. And that's why I'm happy we got it done.
How do you feel number 12 played tonight?
Especially, man. And I told him on the sideline, I told him after the game that there's many different examples we use, but Tyler Buckner's an example of a guy that had a bumpy road. And the way he finished off this season, his first year having a chance to start, and the ability to just really tune out all the noise and focus on, his job. And that's within bowl practice, that's within a season, that's within a game. That's what I'm proud of.
And last one for me, you've only had a few minutes to kind of take this in, but has it occurred to you how great of a game that was?
Now it does because we won, but yeah, it was you expected to play a tough game because you knew that opponent was really good, and that quarterback especially. And we knew that coming in, and you know what, take your hats off to them. That's a well-coached program. The first time I got a chance to meet Shane Beamer, he's first class, and he runs a really good program.
Marcus, we talked to Brian Mason in December, and he had mentioned that you're kind of waiting for the right time, and a lot of things have to go right to go call a fake. So in talking to him and over the headset there, what did he like about that moment and why that moment for that big punt?
Yeah, we ran a punt earlier in the game we wanted to see the look we would get. And after we ran the punt, he said, it's there if you want it. And right before we went out there, he said, it's there. So let's do it. And we've been practicing that fake all year long. And listen, there's no more games left. And I wanted to run it. I knew going into the game, if the opportunity presented itself, I wanted to run it. They said, let's do it here, and I said, let's go. And we executed. It was beautifully executed.
And then on defense, after they go down the field pretty quickly in the opening drive, I think scored on 3 of the first 4. You guys had 4 3-and-outs there in the second half. Was there anything kind of differently schematically you guys wanted to do, or was it just more doing what you wanted to do initially better?
As I told the guys at halftime, the reality, I don't know what the score was, but it should have been 17-10. Right, our defense had given up 10 points. The field goal fake's the field goal fake. That's not the defensive coordinator's job. And as I told them, they played really well. They gave up 10 points the first half on defense. And so all I told them is stop beating Notre Dame, right? And they were able to go out and put it all together that second half. And I think they only gave up 7 points in the second half.
Marcus, for how unpredictable the game was in the flow, like your offensive line was predictable by the end of the game. Like, what did they deliver tonight? I don't think they probably showed you anything new, but just in terms of like, okay, the game ended with that unit being the best group on the field.
I've always said this, when you have the ability to run the ball and the other team knows you're going to run it, that's when you know things are rolling. And they knew we were going to run the ball. And except for the last touchdown, they thought we were going to run the ball and we didn't. But you know, that's why we do those inside run drills. That's why you know, you challenge those guys up front. And I say this all the time, we're an O-line, D-line driven program. I said it at halftime. This game will come down to our offensive line and defensive line, and they want that. They want the pressure on. They want to run the ball in those critical moments. And you know, hats off to them. They're an excellent group. They've done an excellent job all season.
These bowl games can be a little bit of a one-off, like, you know, Mayer's not playing, Fosse's not playing, but like, what do you take out of tonight that matters for the next 9 months? Like, what carries from this?
Well, I don't want to take away from how we finish for the seniors. You know, that's the most important thing is now, right? Is right now. Because if you continue to just think about the future, you lose this opportunity to send these guys out the right way. But once you get through that, then you say, okay, let's look at the young guys that have a chance to play. Let's look at the ability to, for about 10 practices, really develop that middle part of your roster. You know, and we didn't get into South Carolina until we really 2 practices before we came down here. And so the ability to really improve your roster, those guys that are coming back next year, and the ability to send these guys off the right way, that's just the beauty of a bowl game.
Go ahead, Tim. Coach, to your left. Braden Lindsey had a couple chances this season, some missed connections in a big game today, not only the 4th down on fake punt, but also the deep ball from Tyler and a key 3rd down. You discussed kind of his journey sticking with it. I'm sure he's had some frustrations this season where he had some big play opportunities.
Yeah, I remember saying it after the Navy game, when he had that big catch for a touchdown. And you know what? You don't know when your number's going to be called. And for a guy like Braden, just continue to do his job and run as hard as he can and run his roster to perfection. And that's an unselfish position, you know. And it's just great to see him get the opportunity to make a play and make a play.
And Mitchell Evans today, the throwback, it looked as if Jaden Thomas might have been open on that play either, but the patience for Tyler to wait, was that something that you knew was going to break open? Because it looked like he actually had a shot for the first one, but the second pass, Evans was obviously wide open for the score.
Yeah, that was meant for Mitch, you know, the wide eye, and you know, it unfolded beautifully, you know. And I think it's a credit to how we were running the ball, you know, and run the ball in that short yardage situation, be able to lead Mitch out. It's a tough play versus defense, especially when you're able to run the ball. But it was a great execution by these guys.
You're going all the way to the right. Last one for Coach. Thank you.
Your offensive line obviously took over and you'd like to milk the clock. You've done that this year, but did you feel, I wonder what some of your conversations with Coach Reese were in the second half about remaining aggressive and having to be aggressive because you knew Spencer Ryder was on the other side?
Yeah, that played into a lot of my thoughts. And I think early in the game, I was probably a little bit more vocal on running the ball, but in the second half, I wanted to be aggressive. Let's not be cautious. Let's be smart, but be aggressive. And then, you know, again, the interception, that was a chance, the ability for us to be aggressive, but it also wasn't smart, you know. So we can't play keep away. I sit there and I challenge these guys every day to be relentless and aggressive and go after them and let loose. And you know, with 8 minutes on the clock, I can't sit there and say, okay, let's play keep away. And wanted them to be aggressive, and other than the one interception, he did a really good job.
Obviously, you knew about their punter's ability to throw the football, but I'm sure you didn't see the look you got there. Did you think about calling a timeout, or did you try to?
Yeah, no, because the communication was, do we have everybody covered? Yep, because we've repped so many different fakes on field goal and punt. It was just a miscommunication, and that's, we're good. We need to call a timeout. No, we're good. We got everybody covered. It was miscommunication between two guys, and anytime you got two guys covering one guy, maybe somebody's open. That's what happened.
All right, thanks,
All right,
Coach.
thanks, guys.
Logan Diggs is going to be the first one up. We're going to try to go